what you're saying. Yeah, you gotta listen to it on your own.
Yeah, you gotta,
Did you kill a gnat?
You said what?
Did you kill a gnat?
Nigga, no. I just clapped to get everything in sync.
Okay.
I was wondering what that clap
You said, did I kill a gnat?
I feel like he was about to do a spell or some shit.
No spells.
He was about to do a Naruto jutsu.
No.
We gotta fucking go into another dimension.
Nigga wildin'
Take
out.
us all with us.
I'll let Levi load up here. I could start the topic without the screen. So let me go ahead and intro. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Too Many Ideas Podcast. This is episode 39. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Levi got it up. Thanks, Levi. Yeah. Episode 39, coming up on 50. That's a nice round number. Can't wait to get to there. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on socials, all that good stuff. Check out all of our videos and clips and things. Today we have Corey with us. He's in town from New York, and we got Benji with us. He just came back from Rolling Loud. How was Rolling Loud, Benji? Go ahead, tell your story.
It was dope. First 2 days was kind of weak. I'm not gonna lie. LA crowds always be too chill.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Miami got the best crowd. New York is a close second. But LA crowds be, I guess it's because they smoke so much, but they be really chill. They be really chill. So the first day was kind of A lot of people was showing up late. Because technically, it was Rolling Loud at LA, but it was in San Bernardino.
San Bernardino, yeah.
And that's like a 2-hour commute. So hella artists were late. Like a lot of artists didn't, like I don't think they processed that the first day.
Yeah.
So a lot of artists were late. And a lot of them ended up not making their set. Or when they did, they only performed like 2 songs. Like Lotto, literally, bro, we was waiting for fucking ever. And she like came out, performed 2 songs. And she said,
oh, no, niggas was tight.
She was like, and then she also had like a wardrobe malfunction too. Mm-hmm. So she basically was like, son, I ain't gonna let the show stop, but I gotta go. and I just remember being by the crowd, and I just heard somebody say, wait, that's it? And I was like, oh man, this is embarrassing. And I think right after her was supposed to be Earth Gang. Bro, I was on that fucking stage the whole set for them, and they never showed. Like, I think they was just late, so they moved into another stage.
Oh, wow.
But I'm talking about, I was just like, wow, I wasted all this time just standing up here when I could have just went to like another stage and just. But that's how it works. The first day of Rolling Louds are always the most like problematic, like with
Probably
everything,
just iron out the kinks
from the
kind
logistics
of
the employees to all the way to artists to like just everything is always like a little eh. Second day was a lot smoother. It was fun. I was on a weak stage though. I was on the third stage, so it was smaller, had no pyro or smoke. But Deuce was crazy. He brought out Isaiah Rashad. Shit was amazing.
For real?
Yeah, he brought out Isaiah.
Oh, I know.
You want to know what's dope? There was like a couple people on our media team that like was in our trailer behind the stage 3. And I was like, yo, I can't wait for Deuce. And like some of them was like, who's that? What the fuck? You never heard of Deuce? But some of them dudes was like from LA type shit. Or like, that.
And I can imagine his sound hasn't traveled that far.
Exactly.
Yet.
And some people, so I was like, bro, what? You never heard? And he was like, I was like, bro, go out there. You gonna capture some shit. Cause he's fun. Like, not only he's fun, but his DJs were fun. Like he has these 2 girls, they look like twins. And it was like on the DJ table, whatever, like dancing. I got dope shots of them. And like, towards like the second to last song of his set, he was like, you know what I'm saying, I got a homie of mine, you know what I'm saying, we got more songs in the works or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He didn't even say his name, so when I saw him come out, Isaiah Rashad kind of looked like no offense, he just kind of looked like a normal guy, so I didn't peep who he was until like, because he came out like a hoodie or something, or Scully, and I was like, oh, that's Isaiah Rashad. Yeah, but shit was crazy, and a lot of our media team left do set. So I was like one of the only people that got Isaiah Rashad. A lot of them like left the stage because they was like, all right, we don't really know who he is. We just gonna film some of do set. But that shit was dope. And then third day, we already know what happened the third day.
Yeah.
We already know what happened there, man. So third day was way better. Had way more like exciting artists. Like I seen Pierre, Solfego, shit like that. Third day, I was on stage 2 for Trippy. Trippy and Future was performing simultaneously, and in my head I'm already like, I'm gonna miss Future. Like I don't really care. Like he's not a great performer. Yeah. And I'm set to like I'm assigned to film Trippy. So like Trippy, like midway of Trippy's set, we're in a chat. We're all in like a Rolling Loud chat, and I get a text saying, "Confirm. Future's bringing out Kanye. Confirm." All of us looked at each other like, "This is cap." this happened before with Drake, like 2 years ago. This is not real. This is not real. Like, I don't believe this. Like, but then as Trippie kept performing, I kept hearing all that. I was like, what if this is true? This is gonna be the only chance I can really film Ye. So I ain't gonna lie, I was having second thoughts. I was really like, I said, fuck it. I just left. I wasn't supposed to leave. I said, fuck it. I think I got enough for Trippie. Like, there was nothing else he was gonna do that was exciting. So I left and I ran to the stage with a whole 40-pound camera. Usually what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to send a text to a PA and they like bring a golf cart from one stage and take you to the other one. But I didn't have time for that. Yeah, nah, bro, because that's going to take like 5-10 minutes just for them to arrive to me.
Yeah.
So no, I just left. I ran. So what I did was went to stage 1, went through the side, trying to get in the pit. The security was like, no media. And as he says that, I see my media team in there. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, no media. And I ain't gonna lie, I was a little heartbroken. So then I went to the back. So I kind of gave up. No, listen. So I gave up, right?
This is funny at a second time.
Yeah, so I gave up. So I went to the back. So main stage also has a trailer, a media trailer. So I went there. That's the main media trailer. So there was more people in there. I ain't gonna lie, I was sitting down there. I was hating. I was like telling people, like, I hope you don't come. I don't think he coming. Like I was mad. I was like, I don't think he coming. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was mad. I was like, he ain't gonna come. Nah, I don't believe it. Then I got a text from boy Nas. Where you at, bro? We here. I'm like, oh shit, this is real. Then we get another text, confirmed. Tariq is the final role a lot. Tariq is with Kanye at the compound right now. I said, fuck. So I switched lens on my camera. I tell the editors, because there's like people like at the computers and shit. I'm like, wish me luck. And like I'll walk out there. I was like, I have to get something. I have to get at least something to him. So I try again, get denied again. So at this point, I'm like, I'm gonna have to just guerrilla style this shit. I'm gonna have to go into the crowd. That's the best thing to do. So I go into the crowd, right? I think maybe 2 songs before Ye comes out. So I'm over here trying to find the best spot. Meanwhile, I went with one of my team members. Like he followed with me. And then I think March Madness just finished. And then like I just hear Esco. I'm still trying to find a good spot. Like I'm in the crowd, but I can see the stage, but my camera can't really see the stage at this point. So I'm like, fuck. How am I gonna pull this off? It was too late. All you hear is la la. Now imagine a whole packed crowd, right? Imagine a packed crowd, and then imagine if all those people just decided to take 10 steps forward. Dude, I almost got trampled, like, cause I'm with a whole camera and I don't see everybody behind me.
Yeah,
bro, my boy Ray, who's the guy I was telling you about, he seen them rush. So he pulled me, like he dragged me like from the crowd and like didn't let go of me until we got out of that like stampede. Yeah. And luckily I didn't get trampled, because that would have been bad, because I have a whole camera on me. And so we ended up on the side of the stage, and I ain't gonna lie, I was sad as fuck. I was like, bro, this is such a bad angle. I can't see shit. I can see him, but I can't see him with my camera. Yeah. So cause like I'm on the very side, the sides. So I'm on the very side. I'm just like, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of like enjoying it, because I'm looking at the big screen too. Yeah. Just like, damn, this is a beautiful moment for like Rolling Loud. But I was also tight. I was so upset. I was sad. I kept telling myself I was sad as fuck. And then for some miracle, he like just managed to like walk to like our side, and I got a really good shot at him. Like I did. And then after that, I waited outside by the gate with a whole bunch of people, and we got like shots of him as he walked out from the back of the stage with Tariq, and he got in his Escalade and got the fuck out of there. That shit was dope though.
That's good. He been popping up everywhere though. Like you seen he popped up at Roddy Ricch's album release. Like he's outside right now. Like
he is. He was looking
feel like
happy.
He's having fun.
He was looking hella happy. Yeah. Cause like as soon as like the first verse of the second hook of Can't Tell Me Nothing ended, he immediately said, give me another one. Like he literally said, give me another one.
And that's exactly how he was at the concert with Drake with Drake. Yeah, like he was like, yo, just keep him coming. Just keep him coming. We just trying to do all the songs we could do. Like, did you watch it? Yeah. You saw it? Yeah.
He was happy, and that was a vibe, bro. That was a vibe.
Happy Ye is the best,
No, for real. Speaking of that, going straight into the Drake and Ye concert, how did y'all feel about it?
I got to see like on and off of it, because I think that was the day I just arrived in Cali, and I was tired as fuck, but it was cool. I liked the shots of it, like the cinematography of it was just amazing. Like it looked like he was on a fucking cloud performing.
Facts.
That shit was beautiful.
Facts.
No, yeah,
Like,
that's exactly what
it was
like.
beautiful. The only thing, like, you know, when you look at concerts, sometimes, from my perspective at least, what builds me up more or gets me more excited is like being able to see the fans. The only thing is you couldn't really see the fans from the perspectives that they were giving you on the live for that. But besides that, I think it was dope.
I feel like for me it was less of concert and more like movie documentary type of vibe for me. Like the music, you know, all that makes it a concert, but the way that they was like shooting him, like when they got those close-ups and it was like following him around, I was just like, yeah, this looks crazy. Like this looks like a movie, like literally like a movie. And they had like all those, I don't know how many cameras they had out there, but they was going. Like that shit was hard.
I think this is the first thing I was like, I'm actually more thankful that I saw it on a screen than I went in person to see.
Oh,
because like you can tell, yeah.
Oh, fine. That's
like
fine.
no, I didn't go in the movie theater. I saw it at home. Like I was like you, like I just got off
I watched
flight.
it on my computer.
I went to the movie theater.
So I caught it the next morning, like just on some like somebody had the video waiting, and I was like cool. And I was watching that the whole time I'm seeing it. I'm like you, I'm paying attention like how the actual stage is, the design, like how they doing the lights and the clouds, and I'm like, yo. I know from our view, because we got 30,000 cameras right here, we're getting the shots that we want.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're in the crowd and you're just seeing it, I'm pretty sure they're like, yo, where Ye at right now?
Yeah.
Like, I was wondering.
Like super
He's
close.
probably covered up.
Because, like, there was moments even in the shots, like, they was covered up. And then you're waiting on the wind to blow it around. I'm like, I'm pretty sure somebody in the crowd, like, damn, I can't see them for, like, a second.
Yeah, that's definitely, like, a good point, because I went to the theater and watched it, like, on the big screen. And that kind of gave it that very like cinematic feel to it, you know, and it was like, I feel like it makes more, it was one of those shows where it's better to watch it on a camera than maybe actually being there. Like, yeah, being there, you might feel the energy a little bit more, but like actually seeing it, being able to see shit and being able to see like, okay, from this angle with Ye on stage and then it switches to Drake off stage, jamming, singing along with Ye songs, like, especially for the moment, like it really worked.
The intro was nuts. Like that's how I knew, like from the jump, I was like the intro where you know the build. Like if you're in a concert, you're waiting on somebody to come on set. Like you're just there with the crowd.
Yeah.
You maybe got the DJ, he play a couple tunes or whatever. But like this intro was like the chorus on the stairs, and like if you're there live, you're like, all right, cool, it's a moment. But like if you're catching the camera who was shooting this. It feels like you're watching like at the James Terrell show or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
You're literally like walking down the stairs.
Walking down the stairs to Christ. Like you're like, whoa. Like that was when I was like, oh yeah, I'm glad I just saw it on my TV. Like,
I'm glad it happened.
I'm glad it happened.
I'm really
ultimately I'm glad it happened. No matter how people felt, if it was on Drake versus Ye, or if it was a versus, which it was. But
it wasn't a versus, bro.
He's a special guest. I feel it. But come on, Drake. I know he knew, but like still.
So I don't think he was supposed to like be performing old songs like Ye performed old songs, but I do know for a fact that they were supposed to do more of the songs that they had together. Yeah, like Forever wasn't supposed to be the only one they were supposed to perform together. They were supposed to perform Forever, Glow.
Pop Style.
Yeah, they were supposed to perform like a number of songs, but they were late. So they lost an hour or an hour and a half.
I would have loved to Say What's Real merge into Say You Will. I would have loved that.
The set list didn't say that they were supposed to do that, but they missed two good moments because it was that and then it was when Kanye did Find Your Love. They could have easily linked up on that.
Yeah, they could.
Like,
that would have been easy as fuck.
And so
like they missed two big moments, and that's what a lot of people was complaining about. Like it could have been better and like not just on Drake's part, but on the overall show's part. And I kind of agree with that.
But that was again like the stage design of it all. Like I feel like there was not a true moment where like they had moments when they was on stage together, like just them two and like bonding on their chemistry.
Yeah.
But like I kind of was disappointed because I know it's Ye's. He's the headliner and Drake is the special guest. So of course Ye had his shine, but I wanted more of like Drake on that moment with him and like seeing that because like to me I kind of was like I was happy. Huh?
You feel cheated?
Yeah, because like you see Drake like on the side, my man's going in like and we all going in with Drake. Like that was like one of the best shots ever. Like seeing Drake turning up with Ye and like even somebody who was behind Drake watching Ye, like that was a shot. But I was like, damn, I want to see him like on on the stage, like going with his man's, like like some like going in with.
They
him.
could have been on the stage for way more songs, even if they wasn't performing.
Even if they
together,
wasn't,
like
like
hype
Find Your
him
Love,
up,
like,
and then
Drake could. That would have been
vice
dope.
versa,
That would have been dope just to see.
Crazy.
Ad-lib him.
Because like the Watch the Throne, Watch the Throne concert was like
crazy.
that. Watch the Throne was like that. Hov would have a track, and Ye is ad-libbing to Hov's tracks, and vice versa. And then they would do like a track off of Watch the Throne.
And see, Drake was ad-libbing a little bit, like, but he was on the side, like, and you could barely hear him. I don't know if y'all was able to hear that, but he was like kind of like singing little notes here and there, like as Kanye was performing. Like this was right before he was about to come on, so I don't know.
Were y'all more hyped when y'all saw like the teasers of Drake like singing 24? Like that's what got me. But I feel like damn, that set me up because I was expecting like Drake to really be like, damn, y'all really squashed the beat for real. Yeah, he was like, yo,
but
sing
when he
these
came
songs.
out there and sung that shit, I was just like, yo, hands off. Like this is crazy. Like
Nah, I thought the coloring was crazy too though. Like I just thought it was a lot of like visually. I always give you.
It was very bluey. It was very like what's the word? Just sky. Like it was nighttime, of course, but it was like giving me like a real sky
shout out
feel.
to the director. I think his name is Austin Taylor. He's a young guy from LA. Like, and he directed the whole thing. Black dude.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Yeah. And
like he did the stage and all that, or like
he didn't. I don't think he did like stage design,
like,
but he was directing. The art direction and
that's nuts.
Yeah.
Because I think that stage design, like I always be questioning.
Stage design was what's the dude's name you just said a second ago?
Who?
Teller.
Oh, James Terrell.
James Terrell. Yeah.
He did the stage design.
It was inspired by
him. All of that was inspired by James. Like that's why I was like, this is something more beautiful to watch from the screen versus being there live, because like the cameras can really exaggerate. Like I recommend everybody once in a life go and see like a James Terrell exhibit. I think your life will change. You'll look at colors differently. You'll smell colors.
Smell colors.
But no, that was like, I think Ye does one of those beautiful things with stage, with staging in general. Yeah, it's so minimal, but damn, you really be feeling like that man's on the whole world by his own.
Yeah, for real. And I feel like speaking on the Ye and Drake concert, I kind of like, because I think Lucas said it last week, he kind of felt like this might be the start of something for them to do more, and like them being able to possibly build out their relationship and, you know, musically and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of wanted to get into a conversation about like, I guess like business relationships / friendships when you look at it with Ye and Drake versus Ye and Big Sean, and how they kind of like, how the relationship is kind of like soured in a sense. But at the same time, I don't feel like, you know, and yet Kanye, you know, he goes out and he wilds out. He says stuff on interviews and things, and at the same token, he'll be like, you know, but that's my brother though. But I love him though. Like that's how he does. Very contradictory. You know, and it's just like it's kind of a thin line between like that business relationship and like just like a straight up like friendship. Yeah. And did you feel kind of like because I know you kind of like saw at least like bits and pieces of the Big Sean and Ye thing. Did you feel like Ye crossed like a line with Big Sean when he went on his interview and was saying like the shit that he was saying?
Champs with North?
Yeah.
This is. I mean, like we'll never know what these people really do in their regular day life. We really don't know the dynamic. We can only speculate and see what we see from the internet. But
yeah, that's true.
From just like a man to man, like imagine right now, imagine you ask him a question about Luke and he just say, "Oh, I love this. Like Luke is the worst at this and that," and it's just like, what? Like,
exactly.
Like imagine, like that's foul. Regardless, you know what I'm saying? Like, why publicly? Like, why in a?
And I think that's I think that's the thing for me. It's like the public aspect to it. Like, you don't have to go out publicly and say like, yeah, this is the worst decision I ever made in my life. That's a bold ass statement, though. Yeah, that really is.
That's a very clear statement. It's not like, you know, some of the decisions Sean be making, like, I don't be approving. That's different. Like, you hinting at it. But that man came on there and said, yeah, that's how I feel. about Big Sean.
said, I love this.
And like even Noah was trying to like make sure everybody heard because everybody was like, "What you mean?" He was like, "Oh, you mean like having Big Sean was like one of the best?" Nah, like the worst. Oh, you mean like he was like,
niggas was taking it back.
Niggas like I was taking it back. I'm like, yo, my nigga, like relax, bro.
No, for real, because like, and then when Big Sean came on his interview, and he was just like, "I'm the only one who's dropped 5 albums with good music. No one else has dropped that many albums with good music, like under the label." Like all the artists that come and go, like you got your Cudi, he was just like, Cudi left. Like, you know, this person left. I'm the only one who dropped consistently under good music and actually had like #1 albums and everything. And I was just like, for that point, he was making some good points about like, how am I the worst business decision that you ever made kind of thing. And I feel like it was kind of very... I think more so was kind of going at him for like the same reason he was going at John Legend and what's the nigga name, Talib Kweli, I think.
Talib Kweli,
yeah, like it was more so like the political thing outside of the actual music, but he just kind of wanted to take a jab at Sean.
To me, it was just like you just see how much, like how you said, like you don't know how much they speak outside, but it also shows the lack of how much they actually probably do speak. Yeah. Like if we lean in like more so like some relationships are like very business. Yeah. And then like some relationships like have this good balance of like personal and business. I feel like Sean's and Ye's relationship now, and I could be wrong, I don't know what they do on a daily, but like even the fact that the 2 interviews kind of had to happen. Their relationship is way more leaning on like the bit, like they're a lot more on business than they are on personal. Versus where like when Sean first started out, they had a lot more alignments on both sides. So like you could see that. Like I'm sure like we all know Sean's a lot more spiritual now. Yeah, Sean's a lot more like kind of like a little bit more like isolated to himself. He's still outside. Like he even, I don't know if y'all saw like the tweets when he was like, after the Nora interview dropped, well, he was like, bro, I just saw you 2 days ago. And he was like,
and they posted up the picture where those niggas was literally like laughing in each other's face, laughing, smiling, like,
and that's
it was
the
like
foul part.
A handshake kind of thing.
That's the foul part. That's where I'd be like, yo, my man's like, what's up? Like, what's up? What are you grabbing for? Because I just saw you in person. And then you go 2 days later and you like hop on the interview and you say that. I'm like, what? Who is this?
Nah, see, because he did the interview before that picture where they was like together.
Oh, he did? Oh, it was before.
Yeah, it wasn't
after.
No, it was before it. The interview was before it.
Oh, shit.
Which is like, it's just so weird to me. Like how, and for the whole thing, like I feel like with Kanye is just like, I mean, I said you was the worst business decision, but I never said we wasn't friends. Like, I feel like that's the way that he is processing it in his head. And it's kind of just like, it's just like crazy. Like how.
I do feel like he'll say like, I love Big Sean.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, when him and Cudi was beefing, I think he went on and said something about Cudi. And then a week later, they was hugged up friends. Like, man, I love you. I'm sorry.
I mean, but I think that's Yedo in general. Like, he separates the artistry versus like the personal.
Yeah.
Like the
artistry,
quote.
The business.
I love Taylor Swift, but what the fuck does she know about cameras? Like.
That was Lady Gaga.
Yeah. I always get them confused.
He said the creative director for Polaroid. I like some of the Lady Gaga songs. What the fuck does she know about cameras?
Yeah, like that shit. Like, I think he does this thing like he just split person with artists.
Yeah.
I think he meant like as an artist he feel it, but I don't agree. I personally don't know how that was his worst business decision.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think he was just hurt. He just said that shit just because he was salty.
I agree. But I kind of wanted to open up that topic to kind of talk about how you guys handle kind of like those lines of like business relationships and kind of friendships, and how kind of like sometimes you'll be in business with people and then you'll kind of become friends. But then also you'll have like your friends that you kind of go into business with, and how you kind of handle like, let's say something about the business goes bad or something about the friendship goes bad. Like how do you kind of handle dealing with that and moving forward and like, you know, pushing through stuff like that when you have like those kind of like lines that get a little bit blurred.
I feel like it's easier. Like over the years, like I found it's easier managing boundaries with going into business and then y'all become friends.
Yeah.
Because like you already like established a certain level of boundaries. I feel like, I don't know why, it's just like that world is easier to navigate versus like friends and now we're going into business. Like I feel like those are always like the water's always a little bit more murkier. Like friends going into business. versus like, all right,
the
cool,
other way around.
The other way around. Like
Yeah.
I have some people, we went into business, we became cool, and then like we didn't like stay connected as much, but like the friendship is still there, but like we just we don't have to speak as much. Because it's like when the business fails, are y'all still friends?
Yeah.
If you started off being friends.
It's crazy because you're right. Like, either if the business goes really successful or fails, it's gonna be like some turmoil between the relationship. In my experience, I can't say that I've had to like my closest friends. I can't say that I've yet to really reach a level of success with them yet. You know, to the point where I feel like everything has to be very business. Like I feel like when you get really successful, that's when everything has to be like paper documented. But but when you're on the way there, everything's kind of just love. You know, everything is just kind of like. And in a way, there's pros and cons to that because you think like y'all on the same page. Like I don't really have to say it, but like we kind of think it, and I guess it kind of gets awkward to like make that conversation, even though it shouldn't.
Yeah.
But the only things like from a, I guess you can say, a contractor or a person that provides a service to a client. Some of my clients have become some of my friends, and I'm not gonna lie. At that point, there have been problems where the business and that results in me not even being friends with them no more. Like, you know, like I've looked out for people and then they still want more, and then it's just be like, all right, bro, like I looked out for you too many times, and if you clearly don't see I'm fucking with you still, I don't even want to be cool with you no more.
Yeah.
Like, like,
Yeah,
I
you just kinda,
I'm good on it now. Like I tried, bro.
Cut that line.
Yeah, and I only do that more so with people that I've worked with constantly.
Yeah.
Like, bro, because I always tell people, like, I always try to make this note that anytime a client has ever paid $1 for anything that I've done for them, like I appreciate that more than they know. Not just because like, okay, you're helping me and you're helping yourself, but because, bro, the difference between me and a lot of people, any dollar that people give me, I always reinvest it back into myself or my equipment. And then when the time is right, I'll be like, yo, you trying to shoot something with my new such and such? Trying to shoot something with this? I got this now. Like I always look out. So like at the end of the day, you're investing in yourself, but also you're investing in me in a way, but you don't know it. So let me help you out because you invested in me. Even though you're paying for a service, I look at it as like an investment for like all of us.
And I feel like that's a good way to look at it because it kind of allows you to not be so, what would the word be? Like let's say a business relationship doesn't go like well in the end. Like you work with someone for a while and then you kind of sour. It allows you to not be like so bitter if you look at it that way, because it's just like, you know, even though, you know, this place that we're at right now might not be the most ideal situation, at the end of the day, doing business with you helped me get here in some way, shape, or form, you know, and got me to a certain level. So you can kind of like pull away without the bitterness, but also like know like, okay, I have to step away from this situation whenever you're working with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always feel like it's the point too. Like those are always like the thing that makes them always different. Like the point of when you meet someone. Like let's say like boom, if I didn't know you as long as I've known you, or I didn't know Benji or anybody here like as long as I've known them. And like let's say boom, I met Benji today and he's like, yo, you do like art direction, I do like video, like let's link. And like now we start building on that relationship, and then we become really close and like start working together. It's a way different dynamic versus like if we didn't know each other for like a while. Like I feel like that's what fucks up a lot of friendships when they going into the business, because like their reference point of view is like from this, whereas like, as I'm sure we all know now, if you meet somebody new now, they're like, oh shit, like they mean you at where you are now, like you kind of came out the mud a little bit, like now they look at you and they're like, oh, you fire, so now they want to work with you. Versus like the friends who maybe was seeing the growth and seeing it, so that could your reference point can change depending on that friend. Like the character of people is important. Like if that character, that friend is like, damn, I see they booming now and I want to work with them, but I still look at them as like the nigga that was struggling, or like that person that was struggling. So like I kind of am expecting like you know that like when you said like the love part, I be thinking about the people I know who was like, yo, remember when I did that for you back in the day, and it had nothing to do with business. Like remember when I got you that food, the McDonald's meals back in the day, bro? You can't fuck with me on this, and it'd be like, bro, these are two different things. So I don't know. I feel like when you working from a business standpoint and you become friends, like I think you said like you could walk away because y'all know y'all met through business, and it's like it's not as like
Yeah, even if you do become friends, at the end of the day, you started through business. So it's like, if it doesn't go so well, you can always kind of like draw back to that. Like, well, we met through business. We might be cool now, but like, if we are not cool anymore, it was business that started it. So it's
I think y'all begin with people when y'all meet them through business. Like I never get too, and this may be me. This ain't a therapy session, but I never get too close with someone that I'm working with. Where it's like, damn, like it's always like we cool, like we could go grab drinks, grab food, but like we always talking somewhat in the realm.
Yeah, just the business. Like
so I never feel like you like know me, like you know me well enough to like. Oh yeah, this is my mother. Like you gonna know where, you know me.
I think I don't do it on purpose, but like I think subconsciously I'm just kind of like I guess you could say guarded. I'm just like okay, I'll do where I can, but I'm not really gonna
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna go too hard in something that I don't really like. Cause I get people, well, not now, but I remember like. Back when I don't know, I just used to have people that would hit me up like, bro, I need like, can you help me with this? Like people I don't know, and it's like I can see that they're reaching out to me and they're trying to be like close with me type shit, and it's like I get it, trust me, but like let that shit kind of happen naturally. Don't force that. Like you know what I'm saying? The best relationship I ever made from a business perspective was with my boy Nas, and I hit this man up. Randomly like, yo, if you ever need work, I just keep it strictly like I try to become an asset. Yo,
that's
if you need help, establish the relationship. Like if you need help with something, I'll be there. And he didn't respond. Eventually he did respond. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not forcing it like, yo, let's go grab drinks, let's hang out. Like that shit just comes naturally. And that's what happened with me and him. Like we became cool because of business. Like yo, I'm willing to help out where I can. Like I know it may be tough just doing everything on your own. I'm willing to just help. And then from there it just became like, oh shit, you need somebody for on loud, bro, I can do it. And then all right, bet I'll even pay for my own flight, my own fucking stay. Oh no, we got the stay, you just need to pay for your own flight. All right, bet I ain't even ask for $1. I ain't even ask to get paid. You know what I'm saying? For that first time for Rolling Loud. And then but that builds like it's natural. Don't force it. Like don't be like, if you really love what you want to do, like money shouldn't even be in there yet. Like it's gonna come. Just be patient and just let things flow. That's how I see it.
This is thing like reciprocation is big, and that's like it's like off this book called The 48 Laws of Power by like Robert Greene, and like people naturally want to help. So like if you naturally like help someone. The natural human thing to do is they want to help you back. So like making yourself an asset first, they naturally feel like, okay, you help me, and now I'm gonna help. Like I want to help you, like in some form or fashion, and it just builds. Like like that's so crazy because I do be thinking that. Like if somebody hit me up first and they like, yo, I want to work with you. Let's grab drinks. I'm like weirded out. I am weirded out. Like I am weirded out. Like I am weirded out.
Like just a little. Like I don't knock you. But
especially if it's the opposite sex too. Like I'd be like, I don't know. Like if I'm walking up to like a date or like is this like
you feel like it's a ulterior motive kind of situation?
You just don't really know to play.
Yeah, like and it's not even like you as a person trying to be pessimistic. It's just like I don't know. Maybe it's just something in our subconscious that feel like this isn't natural yet. Like make it feel natural. And then or maybe it's our subconscious is telling us, are you only hitting me up because you see what I got going on? And that's because if I didn't have this going on, you wouldn't hit me up. You wouldn't even bother to do all this. So don't do it now. Like just let it happen natural. Like again, if you want my help, hit me up and just ask me a question like, yo, if you need something with this. And then if I in that moment I feel like, oh shit, I kind of do. Then I bet I'm gonna reach out to you. I'm gonna say, yeah, I need your help with this. And then if we link in person and then it becomes like, I see that you can help me more than I thought, or like you really trying, then okay, like, yeah, like I might definitely reach out more.
Let me ask y'all, do y'all feel like now because, a lot of people feel like, go with the flow, go with the energy. I say this, like, to me, I always respect and value, and I don't know if you've had the same results, but, like, you probably did, just off of what you just said. I get the best results from friendships, even in the business space, of just people straight up from the jump saying what they're looking for. And, like, over time, we now be, like, cool. But, like, just something, like, like, instead of coming up and saying, like, hey, like, let's hang out sometime, like, no, like, when people hit me up and say, like, hey, I really like your work, and I'm looking for this. We'd love to sit down sometime and chop it up. Like, and that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Boom. And, like, we sit down, because it kind of, like, is this room of clarity, and you know, like, all right, you want to work, versus, like, the people who hit you up, and they're like, hey, like, how are you? Like, let's be friends, or, like, yo, can we hang out sometime? Like, they like your work. Like, they may, like your stuff, and then, like, be like, oh, this is really cool, but, like, let's hang out. Like, I kind of need to know, like, what is your intention? With sitting down. And, like, those people, even me on that other side, everybody I hit up, I'm very much like, yo, I think your work is dope. I think me and you could work on X thing together. Like, let's sit at Y.
So, on that note, like, when it's you on that side of, like, reaching out to someone, right? And, like, you do your work, and you have, like, a certain value that you put on what you do, right? So if you're reaching out to someone and you're saying, like, hey, I want to work with you, kind of thing, would you say, if you do at all, like, basically kind of, like, get what you're worth out of it? Like, if you're trying to get paid for it, for example, like, how do you feel like you can navigate that in that kind of, like, business relationship
I'm gonna go to the Benji comment. If I'm hitting them up, they have the leverage, and I hit them up for the relationship and the opportunity. The money is a variable. Yeah. That I'm like, it depends on where those other two things lead.
Because I feel like when you're hitting someone up and say, yeah, I want to work, or I want to help, whatever word you decide to use, and then, like, they come back and they're just like, yeah, cool, you could do smorgasbord, long ass list of things. And it's just like, okay, well, hold on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how?
Okay,
like,
so
I'm doing a lot here.
I'm gonna just say something. This is kind of not personal, but it's kind of like more than I feel like I could reveal. But any work I've ever done for Nas or Kenny and them, I've never asked for $1. I've never said how much I getting paid for this. Never, ever. It's more so I just do it. Then afterwards, he'd be like, send me an invoice for this. Yeah. That's how it's always been. I've never asked. When I worked on Hit, because that was like the first real thing that I did with Nas for Kenny. Yeah. Bro, I did like, it was 2 weeks of work, but it was like 3 days. But in total, like, we did 1 week and then another week. But I think it was like 3 days of work. I didn't once ask for $1. Maybe like 2 weeks later, he just sent me bread through PayPal. And I was like, what the? I wasn't expecting it. Yeah. Like, I was just like, wow. And that's kind of how it's always been since. Like, I never asked for $1. Anything, he'll probably bring it up, like, I'm trying to get you some extra bread. You trying to do this or something? I'd be like, all right, bet. But everything I've ever done, even now, has just been, yo, this is like, send me an invoice for this amount. Or, you cool with this? I never once asked, how much am I getting paid for this? Or how much, like, can we do this? I never did that to this day with that relationship.
To this day.
Yeah, I mean, that's just that's an example from me in one of my
But you don't handle all your business relationships.
No,
like
definitely.
He was like, nah.
Just the one.
Because I always tell Nas, like, bro, nothing I ever do involving what I do with them feels like work. It never felt like work. Ever. Like, I'll do that shit from 9 o'clock in the morning till midnight or past midnight if I could, because it doesn't feel like work. I may be tired, but I love it. Like, I really love that shit.
For mine, it's a little different, because, like, normally, so, like, I'm not the direct to client person. Like, I may get hit up for somebody who is the account person. You know what I'm saying? Who's, like, the liaison between, like, hey, I have X brand or X client who wants a campaign or, like, a photo shoot, and, like, they need me to facilitate that. So in that space, when they know, I guess, like, because they know, like, all right, cool, we're hiring you, but, like, kind of like something like what you said, like, they'll hit me up and be like, yo, they paying this, you want to do it? And it's like, yeah. And, like, so that's normally how that goes. But, like, if I'm hitting up if I'm hitting up someone to work, 9 times out of 10, no, I'm not really thinking about the money, because like I want to be in that same space and just build on that relationship and like just build off of that alone. So I don't even ask about bread unless it gets to like, but again, for like my industry, like
different.
It's a little different because like eventually you do have to run into like a client and it's like Nike and you're like, oh, okay, like all right, Nike wants a campaign. We're doing the campaign though, but like what we're going to give you is X amount of money, and it's like, okay, cool, sounds fun, but like I'm not looking for it.
Got it.
They just like they think you're good for that work. A lot of times, like if I at least for me, what I've noticed in like at least in like the design and art direction world is like if you just show like you got that passion. You got that passion for that shit, and like people will like that. It brings the money too.
Yeah.
It brings the money. Like I don't know what it is, but like people start gravitating to it, and they just like, all right, cool. Like we want to give you money. Like it's really weird thing to say, but like we want to give you money, and it's like, all right,
not pay you.
Yeah, not pay you, but we want to give you that, and it's like, all right.
One more side note that I want to say, besides the money aspect of anything that I've gained in my relationship with them, I've gained more besides money. I never touched a red until I worked on Hit. I learned how to manipulate. I learned how to work a red. I learned how to be an AC, which is an assistant camera. I learned how to pull focus. I learned how to work with machines and gadgets that I never dealt with. Like I didn't even go to school for this shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't just be like, oh, this is called a wireless transmitter or Teradek. This is a nucleus thing for this. And like, you know, I didn't learn. Like I was in the field and then besides that,
he was in the field.
Besides that, then being close and being a part of that, and when you're working with somebody that's also like, you know, just great at what they do, and they gain an opportunity, that person is gonna want to help you win as well. So even though like I'm trying to be a shooter, like let's say I'm trying to be a DP. Let's say this actually happened. Like Nas got a huge budget for one of Kenny's videos. Am I ready to be the DP for that budget? Probably not. So, but what did Nas? He still wanted me to be a part of it, so he got me like a little PA job. And what did I do? I like was on set and I soaked up knowledge. He didn't even say that I was gonna be a PA. He said, "Hey, bro, pull up." Yeah. And then later on, he put me on like the fucking like payroll to be a PA. Like I was just there. I really was just helping him personally, not even a part of the production itself. You know what I'm saying? That's
a clean budget, like
And I just got to just watch and look at a real DP and kind of not even shadow at the time. I should have paid more attention, but being a part of that was dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do I want to be in that DP shoes? Yeah, but am I ready yet? Probably not. But I'll wait my turn. Like I'm not at that point yet, but I'm still appreciative of just being there. Like that's more important to me than money.
The knowledge, the value of that.
The knowledge, like I be learning the business shit from my end. Like I know I be telling you all the shit I be learning just from like people I be sitting down, just like how these brands be thinking, like how to like just that part alone. Cause you feel like, you know, like when you were younger and you trying to like just put your feet in, like you don't even know what the other side is looking for 9 times out of 10. But like when you start getting these rooms and like you start being in the field, as Benji calls it, we in the field. When you're in the field and you just start seeing like, oh, okay, like this is how the invoice got sent through. Oh, okay, this is how much like what I thought I was charging this low. Nah, Nike do that for like 400 times that price. Like and you be like, oh shit.
I feel like you gotta pick up a lot of things like on as you go.
Like, it's literally like
that's
all it
hit
is.
The ground. You literally hitting the ground running.
Yeah. Literally someone's turning on the light.
So much.
That's literally what it feels like.
You learn so much, like, and you learn even shit that you didn't even think about, like. You can even blur this out, what I'm about to say. But like, like
you about to say something you're not supposed to.
Like randomly, you might just hear, oh, might want, bleep this out. Might want like 40 bands to show up to Rolling Loud. That's why she never showed up. Like, you know what I'm saying? You hear shit like, what the fuck? Being in this industry, you just hear random information that you be like, wow, that's how this works. That's how the whole industry works.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. You just hear the little shit and that the shit that never fell through, and you be like, oh, so that's how the shit did not fall through.
That's why. Like, that's why it's going on. Oh, so it's a $20,000 budget, but this person's only getting paid this much. Oh, they're actually struggling with this budget. They actually need more money. The fucking labels still ain't paid the remainder of this. Like, wow. Like, you just learn so much just actually being in it. And it's like, but I understand, like,
you be understanding like client, like agencies and like brands. Like for me, they'll be like, all right, like I have this one creative director. He would always tell me, he like, yo, they want you to give them, they want a stallion. They really want a unicorn, but they gave you the budget for a dog, a poodle, and that's what they want. Like, and that be dead ass. Like, I don't care saying the numbers. Like, they'll be like, yo, Nike wants to do a campaign, but for photography and the video, it's gonna be 400 bands, but the cost to do everything is 750.
Yeah.
750K, and we're like, huh? And they're like, yeah, but we still gonna have to make it work. Yeah. And you're like seeing how they make it work.
Make it work. I hate the phrase "make it work."
Nigga, they be making it work though. They be making it work. Shit start getting cut out. Shit start getting added in. Then you start seeing like, all right, cool. Like, no, what we can do here for this set, we could do this, and then like what we could do for like the design, we could cut this out and like do this, and you'd be like, yo, what? And then they're like, here goes your line item. So like I'll sit down. Like I just had a story because I'm about to go independent, and I was sitting down with a mentor, and he was telling me like, I was trying to figure out what would I charge just by myself to do what I do for other, like what we do is like an agency. And like he literally showed me like the budget for what we did for one client.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I told him my number. He was like, oh yeah, that's fine. I'm like, damn, I should charge more then. If what I'm if just like it just be like the nonchalantness of the it's fine for me. Like I'd be like,
and I like that when you get around like the people when you're working with them and you're just like, okay, well, this is the budget, and it's this, and that, da, da, da. Okay, cool. Like, it just serves, like, a level of understanding. Yeah. Like, oh, what I'm doing, where I'm at with it, and, like, the price that I'm at or whatever, it's, like, it's not too much. If anything, it's too little.
Exactly.
You know? And you got to kind of, like, you know, add to your value, however you look at yourself and the worth that you have. But, interesting. I wanted to get into this, Roddy Ricch album next, because... that drop. I'm hearing a lot about it.
I don't have much comments about it yet.
So you haven't heard it?
I heard like very little, but I guess I shouldn't really tell what other people told me about it. But people told me it was underwhelming.
Yeah, I've been hearing that, and like, I think it's a very weird balance for him because I think because he's as talented as he is, and I think it's because we've seen him in other lights where he's really, really, really shined in a different kind of way than what his actual albums and music that he puts out on his own is. And people are just like, yo, why don't you do that? Why don't you do like the shit that you did on Donda? So why don't you do the shit that you do on whatever, this person track, that person track? Why do we only get like one or two songs that sound like that and the rest is just like the trap shit, you know? And it's just like, for one, like you said, he is young and whatever, but at the same time I think that is like the sound that he's always kind of like gravitated to.
I don't think that's an excuse no more, man. This is
I don't think so either,
sport, bro. This is a young man sport.
What I mean by like young is like, what is this, his second?
This is the second album, yeah.
Second album. Like,
people always, I'm not gonna say always, but people generally like don't do good on their sophomore.
And that's what I was just about to say. I'm like, it's his second album.
And I don't feel like overall it's a bad sophomore album. I don't think it's a bad sophomore album. But I do think that if we're looking at it for like what he could do, and I try to like balance that out with looking at what someone could do versus looking at where they're just like at right now, because like you can't necessarily like always judge someone super hard on what their potential is from where they're at right now, but at the same time you kind of gotta like be like, hey, you know, you could have all the, like, whenever I would hear like the outros or the intros on the songs, like that song with Lil Baby,
that Lil Baby
where it started
intro.
out, it was like it sounded like an orchestra kind of thing, like, and it was very like, it was very mood setting. And then when the song actually started, it was just like a trap song again. And I was just like, yo, just put some words over that part.
Yeah,
like,
just put something.
Just let it keep going. Like, add the drums in, cool, but like do a little bit, take a little bit more like risks at the same time.
And I think that comes with time though, like in the field for him. Like,
and then also I think it's a conversation about like his, just like the kind of situation that he's in with the artist, the way that he sells, and like his position as far as like, you know, he's on Atlantic, and if you know anything about Atlantic is numbers first, like before everything, you know. So he's got to sell,
exactly.
Like he's got to make the money, you know what I'm saying? And like, so he has to have like songs that are like charting or radio or this or that or whatever, it has to be for whatever Atlantic thinks is good, but like he kind of has to fall into a certain range where he maybe can't take as many chances artistically as he would like to. I'm not sure if he would like to. I'm not saying that I know, but it's possible, you know.
I feel like he would like to, because just the pockets he's explored in. Like if he didn't want to, I don't think he would have. And even hearing like you start to hear like certain glimpses of it, like how you was just talking about that track a little bit. Like I haven't heard it in my own way of how I like to listen to albums, but I have heard it, and like I've heard every song. I think at this point, I don't think it's underwhelming. I would say it's like, I think there's levels of it that I expect, and there's things of it that I'm like, okay, there's additions of some new things. I think Roddy is a person who's going to take time to like really define where he wants to fit in everything. Like I think it's just his second project, and he's already in different pockets like a Donda. You know what I'm saying? Like he's already in like those certain realms. So I don't know. I think he's still got a lot more to go.
Yeah.
Like I just think he got a lot more to go. I think people see the potential because like you could see an end map, but like I think one thing that artists don't like, we have no idea what he intends for his music to be, and I think if I see anything from like where he's going now, I think he didn't even expect to be like in those pockets. So he's like, damn, I didn't even know I could sound like that. I didn't even know I could sound like this. What is that?
And I think that's a very slippery slope, especially in today's day and age where like our big artists are getting younger and younger and younger. And like people, not even just like our big artists, but people are popping off at younger and younger ages. So it's just like, you know, they have a certain level of potential.
Yeah.
And because they're so young, you kind of see that potential a little bit more like already, like early on. Like you're kind of we're just catching on to them earlier and earlier in a sense. So like with that potential aspect, it's like you kind of looking at them for what they could be. And then it's a slippery slope because you could either, you know, force them to go harder, go bigger, and then do more and excel, or by locking them into whatever you think that they should be, their potential, you kind of like stunt that growth for them, you know?
Because it's just like, that's how I was going to say though. I'm like, now when I hear like, oh, Roddy Ricch's album is like underwhelming, or like it has like some negative comments or anything, I feel like it's just the way how we consume. Like, I still just put, like, ultimately, it's just how we consume music now. Because I don't think, like... I think, like, if Roddy... Because Roddy dropped... When he dropped his last album, and people was like, boom. And that's when I really was like, oh, I knew about Roddy. But, like, this one, I'm like, oh, Roddy Ricch. But, like, now, I feel like the way how we receive it dictates so much. Like, if Roddy comes out, or any artist now, I feel like they come out, and they're, like, super consistent with everything, and like just continues developing in a consistent realm. We're like, oh, we're tired of this. But like, it's kind of like what gets some numbers.
His last project was what, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
2019 December.
It was 2018.
2019.
Okay, so yeah, two years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people when they see like. And that's consuming music back to that point. I think when people see that you've taken longer than a year with your project, they're like, oh, this project's about to be so
it's got to be
level,
something.
da-da-da-da-da. But people don't really realize that before, like now, where people are dropping every year, multiple times a year, it was years in between, you know, your favorite artist dropping project 1 and then project 2 and then project 3 and then project 4. It was like... 2 years was like the least that you would see most of the times, you know. But now it's like if someone is taking 2 years to drop a project, oh, this project is about to. Music has moved so fast past it that it's just like, okay, this project has to be way better than their last thing, you know. Yeah, and I don't necessarily feel like it has to be like that, you know, especially for him and how early on it is in his career overall, you know. But he's still like a major. Like artist, like he's like if we're putting artists in tiers, and like he's up like in that A tier kind of range, you know, A B whatever, like that's
that move to Miami track is nuts. Like that was the one with the intro. That intro
like I just wish that intro would have kept going, and that would have been like the song. Cause like if you go and listen to it, you'll know what we're saying. Cause like as soon as the song actually starts, the vibe is completely different. And then I think Yeah, I think Crash the Party might be the best song. That's what we was talking about it in the group, and Lucas said that was the best song, and that's the one that I played. The first one. Yeah. That was the one where it was just like, okay, like this is a little bit more like it's reaching at something. It's getting at something. It's hitting at something. Yeah, the A. Yeah, that was hard. Yeah, that was hard. Okay, last thing here. Have you seen Spider-Man?
Yeah.
You seen Spider-Man?
Yeah, I did.
How do you feel about Spider-Man? Everybody in this room has seen Spider-Man.
I went to that shit by myself. I ain't give a fuck.
You went by yourself?
Yeah.
You was in your Spidey suit?
Nah. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. Mm-hmm. Like, period. Well, original. Like, not including movies. No, I meant like original.
Oh, you just mean like original.
Like originally Spider-Man, period. Okay. Not including like the Marvel movies. Marvel movies is Iron Man. But
let's not go too crazy with any spoilers, because, well, I mean, by the time this comes out, it's Wednesday, so you niggas should have seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not going to go too crazy. But what do you rate it?
What do I rate it? Mm-hmm. I don't want to rate it.
You don't
I don't want to rate it. I just want to love it. Yeah, I don't want to give it a bar or nothing like that. I don't want to compare it. I don't want to. I just love what it did. Like, that's it. I'm just happy.
I was gonna say it's one of those movies I cannot. I think if you put a bar on it, knowing the intention, like how I told you, coming out of the movie, it had no intention to be like pushing the envelope or anything. It was like, yo, we're about to make y'all feel good. Like, this is
bro,
what this movie is.
That's why I feel like she was saying.
I had an array of emotions.
The fan service was
it was just a fan movie.
That it's like you don't even want to like be saying anything bad about it. Because it's just like, yo, they
like,
just did everything.
Like, why look for the negative? I don't like. I have no reason to look at the negative for this movie. Like, the only negative probably you could say is, his aunt died, but that's a part of life. That's a part.
That's a part of life.
That's a part of the MCU.
Because like the whole even if you look at it, he did. Yeah. And I was wondering. I was like, when is he gonna have a death?
It was because
he didn't have his
fucked
uncle
up. That I'm about to say, but it was beautiful because like he needed like that what's it called? Catharsis?
Catalyst?
It's like some shit, whatever.
I think it's more like a catalyst for him to grow up.
Yeah, because like all the other Spider-Mans had like that moment, that peak. And, when we got introduced to this Spider-Man, nobody like, it was like, where his story at? But I think I remember hearing like some blog said like, we've already heard the story so many times, so why does this Spider-Man doesn't need it? Mm-hmm. But no, he did need it. He needed something. I mean,
Spider-Man is a coming of age story at the end of at its core. He's a superhero, but like because of how the comics are and just like his age and everything, it's always like that. You have to always show that struggle of being a superhero versus being a kid versus being a this versus all these things. Like, and that has to be in the movie. I
forgot who it was. It could have been Green Goblin, but somebody said it in the movie. Like you keep battling between like who you want to be and who you are. Like literally, like you either Peter Parker or you Spider-Man. Like make up your fucking mind. Like oh no, I think it was Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. Like he kept saying it, but also Green Goblin kind of hinted something at that as well. But
but
he was
for real.
Strange said that shit. He was like, it's because you keep trying, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to do both that you can't do either.
You can't. Like, why do you think Iron Man from the beginning just said that shit from the beginning? He's like, I'm Iron Man. Like that's the start of everything. Like, he just said
that's really crazy. I did not think about that.
Yeah.
At the start of Iron Man, he said, "Yeah, I'm Iron Man," and that was it. Like he just let it be known to people. Like he didn't try to.
I be telling people that. I be like, bro, all the superheroes always hiding themselves, but Iron Man, the start of the MCU, he literally just said it. I am Iron Man. No more hiding. None of these little like walls and these limits that I can or can't do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was
I think
great.
that contrast between them two is like that's a really good contrast because he looks up to Tony Stark so much, but he never did what Tony Stark did.
And I think now by the end of this movie, he finally realized like he has to.
And that's kind of the problem. But see, I wouldn't say that at the end of this movie he has to, because he didn't.
What?
Like he didn't. Nobody knows that he's Spider-Man. Like,
no, but what I'm saying is, but like now he has no reason to not just be like he has every reason to just be Spider-Man now. Like he can just be that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He literally sacrificed his Peter Parker for Spider-Man. Is what I'm saying. Like he literally did.
And see that's where I would ask. Do y'all think he made the right choice?
Do I think he made the right choice or do I think he made the best choice?
Answer both.
I think he
start with the right choice. Answer. Did he make the right choice?
I think he made the right choice. I don't think he made the best choice. I feel like the best choice was to be Spider-Man, but also tell like MJ and his best friend.
Why is that different? Why is that different?
Because the right thing to do is to just not have anybody involved in your problems.
Oh, so
like,
they can't get hurt.
Yeah, can't get hurt. Cause he looked at her. He was like, it reminded him like, this is how I received it. He seen that she was hurt, and like it instantly reminded him why she got hurt in the first place because of him. And then when she said it's okay, she doesn't feel it anymore. It even reminded him like, damn, like you're healing. Like you still need time to heal from all this, like
fuckboy energy.
Yeah, like you're still healing. So like, I can be a fuckboy or I can't.
Damn, not Petey the fuckboy. Damn, I was coming to fuck up your life again.
Yeah, I was going to, but
it looked like it looked like you do. I thought the same.
Yeah, bro. So and I feel like the right that was the right choice, but the best choice, I still feel like he could have told her. You know what I'm saying? Kept things a lot better.
That's the thing for me. Like, I feel like it's not the right or the best choice because, like, how involved she is with his life, how involved Ned is with his life, how involved anyone is with his life. It's partly his choice, but it's also mostly their choice.
Yeah.
And by taking that choice away from them, I don't know if that's, like, the right thing to do.
To me, at the end of the day, I already said this once. I'm gonna say it again. I gotta get this off my chest. He did not have to leave once the spell happened. Like I feel it. Like it was the best choice for like, all right, how do we stop this madness that's about to happen? Cool. Now look, it was my mess in the first place. So y'all about to lose y'all memories real quick.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But
that's
stay
the best
right
choice.
here.
That's the best
stay
choice.
right here. Like I'm gonna strap y'all. I told Mars and Dunn this the second we got car. I said, "Yo, he's so smart but so dumb. Like he did not have to flee. All he had to do is this. All right. So look, y'all don't know who I am, but like I'm Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Like I am Spider-Man. We're best friends. Y'all don't know this, but we're gonna just stay friends for a while and just catch them up on like the last 2 movies, and then be like, all right, cool. So let's like, I would have rather that, but the fact he ran off is like, and I thought about that Tony Stark comparison to him. I'm like, he can't like, I'm like, that's one thing I do want out of this.
But it's a sacrifice.
It's not just the sacrifice. Like to me, what I think the Tobey Maguire one is like the hardest Spider-Man one to me. Yeah, because like Tobey would look MJ square in the face and said, "Yeah, we can't do this." And like he just thugged out. And then the third movie he was like, yeah, like we're gonna try it. And even that was like the sacrifice. But like Peter was always running from making that decision. Like, and I kind of want him to like.
But even for Toby, he like I feel like it's still like the same thing. I think the character has to have like this kind of thing happen because like even with Toby, like he lost a lot.
Yeah,
like.
Gotta have some pain.
Even we don't ever talk about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, but that nigga lost a lot. Like, and he really had like that loss was terrible. Like he fucked up.
Yeah.
He said, I couldn't save her.
Yeah.
Directly on him.
I couldn't save her.
Yeah.
It's not even the fact that he couldn't save her, but it's like the fact that he was so close, like that he did. But he didn't like,
and at the same time, that's again that actual moment was like him juggling 3, 4, 5 different things all at once, like trying to hold her, trying to fight, bro, trying to do this, trying to do that, like, and something's got to give, and that's basically what that moment meant, and that's why I feel like Spider-Man is like as a general like archetype, like something's got to give for you to be able to. You know, get to that next level, or for you to be able to do whatever you do. Like
not to include any DC things in this Marvel world that we're talking about, but
all right, cool. You about to go DC? We're gonna wrap it after
this. Just one thing that because in the DC world, Batman is my favorite. Period. Like it was a quote that they said like when he was talking to Robin before he was Robin, like when he was just a police officer, he was like when he tried to like be like a little vigilante, Batman told him like put a mask on,
Yeah,
and then he looked at him. He said, "I'm not afraid to show these." He said, "It's not for you. It's to protect the ones you love." And it's kind of like that's how I look at what Tom did in this Spider-Man. He's like the best way to protect y'all is y'all just don't even know who I am. Like the best way to protect anybody sometimes is for nobody to even know who you are. You're not protecting them of something. You're protecting them of yourself.
Yeah,
that was deep.
I understand. Batman a little bit more seasoned, so he does it right. But I understand.
It depends.
Yeah, that's cool. And we got Batman coming up next year.
I feel like that Spider-Man.
We're gonna see how Batman handle his shit too.
I don't know, man. I love the Christopher Nolan trilogy, bro.
This one's gonna go.
I love the Christopher Nolan trilogy.
This one's gonna be dark.
We're gonna see.
I think it's gonna be good. Like I feel I have a good feeling about it. Like a gut feeling. Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be as
I don't think anything could be Christopher Nolan. But
Christopher Nolan has his balance between cinema and actual like this dark mood. I think this one's just gonna be dark, but like good dark. Like I was telling them over the weekend, like it's based off of like a lot of his movie for this one is based off of the movie Seven with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. Like the whole detective and black noir of it all is gonna be that. So I'm like, it's gonna feel very like dark and gritty and like textural. Whereas like Christopher Nolan's is like very much like larger than life Batman. So two different worlds.
We're gonna see. I'm looking forward to that coming out next year. But we can wrap it right here, man. Appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for watching out there. Thank you guys for listening. And we are out of here.